At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to swear all of you in as jurors in this case in 24 CR 1535, the state of Texas versus Deontay Devon Sostan. All of you, please raise your right hands. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm that in the case of the state of Texas versus Deontay Devon Sostan, that you will a true verdict render according to the law and the evidence, so help you God? Lower your hands. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, by the oath that you have just taken as jurors.
What happens when a simple argument suddenly turns into gunfire? In this Texas courtroom, Deontay Devon Sostan stands trial for allegedly firing a gun at a car during what started as a heated dispute outside a rental house. Prosecutors say he wasn't even involved in the fight but still pulled out a firearm and started shooting as people were leaving. Now the jury must decide, was this reckless violence or a misunderstanding in a chaotic moment?
You have now become officials of this court and active participants in the public administration of justice. And that is a great honor in a democratic, self-governing republic like we live in. If at any time you cannot clearly hear the proceedings, please let me know. We want to make sure that you can hear the testimony of the witnesses from that witness chair and also clearly see exhibits as they are presented throughout this trial. Now, no one may discuss this case with you during your service as jurors, and likewise, don't feel offended if you happen to run into the attorneys in the hallway or in the elevator, and they do little more than nod to you. To maintain the integrity of the jury system, the law prohibits them from speaking with you until the end of this case, when they are free to speak with you and answer any questions you may have of them, of why or what happened, and can you explain? And they always like to interact with jurors to help you understand what happened and why things happen. Again, this is different from television. This is real. Do not discuss the evidence in this case with your fellow jurors until you are instructed when you go back to deliberate together. And likewise, when people find out you are jurors, they want to know, what can you tell me? And you are unable to discuss this with your spouse, significant other, friends, or anyone else until you are discharged from service, and then you are free to speak about this trial and your experiences with it to anyone. And also be very careful when you read the newspaper, watch television reports, or listen to radio reports that might discuss news. If they discuss something about this trial, mute the sound, turn the channel, and we don't want you to get any outside information from this case other than what is presented here in this arena, in this trial courtroom. Now, some people like to take notes, and if you wish to do so, those are for your purposes only. You may do that. You cannot show those notes to other jurors, and you can only use those notes to refresh your recollection of what you may have recorded. And be very careful about that. So the one thing you can't do is in the deliberation room, if you take notes, go, I wrote down blank, blank. That wouldn't be appropriate. But sometimes during deliberations, jurors wish to get portions of the testimony, and we can transcribe that with my court reporter who types 300 words a minute, and we can get certain particular requests taken care of from testimony if you decide you need them during your deliberation. Now, do not go to any of the locations referred to by the witnesses in this case or perform any individual investigation of the facts on your own. You will receive all the evidence here in the courtroom for your deliberations. And likewise, be careful. Don't look in books, encyclopedias, or dictionaries, or go into the courthouse records to obtain information over and above what is presented to you during this trial. Now, your oath states that you will render a verdict only on the evidence submitted to you under the court's legal rulings. And the evidence you're going to consider will consist of the testimony of witnesses. And also evidence will be presented. Generally, it's always done in the form of physical objects or documents, which we call exhibits. During the trial, attorneys make objections And when it is done, I must rule on it, similar to basketball officiating. Only there's not 1,000 people shouting at you. And here, in this case, if an objection is made and I sustain the objection, then the question cannot be answered by the witness. If I overrule the objection, it can be answered by a witness. Also, if an exhibit is moved to be admitted and an objection is made, if I overrule the objection, it's admitted into evidence and you can consider it and give it how much weight and credibility you deem it deserves during your deliberations. And if it's sustained, then it's going to be withdrawn. It could be admitted in a different way that meets with the rules of evidence as the court deems, since judges are what we call the gatekeepers of the admissibility of evidence. Once evidence is admitted, it's in your domain. You get to decide how much weight and credibility you want to give to the evidence in this case. In considering the weight and the credibility of the witness's testimony, you can consider their appearance, their attitude, their behavior, their interest in the outcome of the case, their relationship to the parties, the probability or improbability of their statements, and most importantly, because you don't get 100% of all the information in a trial. You never do. Jurors are required to fill in the gaps, and you can draw reasonable inferences from the evidence to fill in gaps using your common sense, wisdom, education. And that is one of the most important things jurors must do, use common sense. You're going to have to fill in gaps. You're not going to get all the information. You're not going to get a videotape of the event, of the whole event. Even when you get a video, there's always an argument that if the camera was on this perception or from as opposed to this side, there'd be a different angle that you would see different things. You can't worry about that. You're going to have to deal and handle the evidence as you see it. And again, it's never 100%. You got to fill in gaps, drawing those reasonable inferences. You get to decide how much weight and credibility the evidence should deserve. And that's what's so important for jurors in all cases. That's their responsibility. Now, the trial is going to proceed in the following way. In just a second, I'm going to ask the state of Texas to present the indictment. The defendant shall plead to the indictment. Then the attorneys have an opportunity to make opening statements, which are brief overviews of what they expect their evidence will show. Then the state of Texas will begin the presentation. They go first. They'll call witnesses to the stand and question witnesses from that witness trip. And why do they go first? That presumption of innocence standard. All defendants are presumed innocent unless found guilty. So it's not the burden of a defendant to prove their innocence. The burden is on the accusing authority. It's always been that way for centuries that we've adopted from the Magna Carta. And so the state calls witnesses first. If they didn't, we just sit here and stare at each other until the end of time, which is not the plan. We're going to move forward. They'll call witnesses, question witnesses. When they pass the witness, the defense may cross-examine. At some point in time, you will hear the state say, "We rest." At that point in time, the defense may or may not present evidence. Sometimes they go, "We rest." And then we will go into the reading of the jury charge that I will prepare for you, which is the law necessary for you to refer to during your deliberations. And then the lawyers will make their final arguments, and then you'll go back and deliberate. If the state rests and the defense does call witnesses, they'll question witnesses, and then the state gets to cross-examine those witnesses. And when the defense rests, the state may or may not call rebuttal witnesses. And if they do, then you can consider that information as well. If they don't, then we'll go right into the reading of the charge and the final arguments. At all times, it is your foremost responsibility to make certain that justice is done in this case in accordance with the law that the court provides for you. and the evidence presented. All right, at this time, I'm going to ask the state of Texas to present the indictment, and the defendant shall rise, please. Thank you.
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, the grand jurors for the county of Jefferson, state aforesaid, duly organized as such, at the July term AD 2024 of the 252nd District Court of Jefferson County, and said county and state upon oath in said court, present that Deontay Devon Sostan, hereafter styled the defendant, on or about the second day of June 2024, and anterior to the presentment of this indictment, in the county of Jefferson and state of Texas, did then and there knowingly discharge a firearm at or in the direction of a vehicle, and the defendant was reckless as to whether the vehicle was occupied, namely the vehicle was occupied by Christian Ross, against the peace and dignity of the state.
And that is an indictment signed by the foreperson of the grand jury, correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Deontay Devon Sostan, how do you plead to that indictment as just read by the prosecution, guilty or not guilty? Not guilty is entered into the record on your behalf, and you may be seated. It's always interesting to see how today's matters, what we do today, is something that was carried on for now almost 1,000 years. At the end, this indictment begins with "in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas," which is the entity that presents indictments. When I was in the U.S. Attorney's Office, it read "in the name and by the authority of the United States of America," because that's who we represented. That was the entity I represented as a federal prosecutor. And it ends similarly as in federal courts, against the peace and dignity of the state. But in the Magna Carta, it was against the peace and dignity of the king. Well, we've changed that. Now we, the people, make the decisions, not kings. And so it reads, it's replaced from king to the state of Texas. But it's historical tradition that has a firm basis, not only in tradition, but in the rules of law to make these formalities important. It's an important impression to make because we are talking about liberty. That's what's at stake in all criminal cases, which is a precious commodity in the Constitution. And a little more to the counterclockwise. Thank you. You can turn back 5 degrees.
Sure.
Five more.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
You admit me, I'll put this one on.
Okay. And now the court is going to allow any opening statements to be made, beginning with the state.
I need them to change that camera before I go on.
It needs to move a little more counterclockwise. She's out of range.
The witness one needs to be changed before I go on.
Stop. Thank you. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming back to the lucky 12 plus our 2 alternates who were chosen yesterday. We're here because you don't pull out a gun at a girl fight, especially when you're not even involved, especially when nobody's being unfairly hurt, and especially when the people you shoot at are leaving. I told you yesterday that the evidence doesn't all come in a bag wrapped up with a bow. You'll hear it piecemeal. And what that means is you'll hear several witnesses who take us there. The purpose of the opening statement is just for me to kind of give you a roadmap of what you're going to hear, I anticipate over the next 2 days. So you'll hear from Brianna. Brianna's going to tell you that she was renting a house on West Northern with her mom and her sister. And I think it was 2 little nephews that lived there with them. Brianna found out about this house from her child's father, Jordan. So they move into this house and everything appears to be going fine when they're first moving there. And then around March of 2024 is when they get notice that they need to be out. So you'll learn that Brianna's mom, Miss Valerie, and Brianna's sister, Christian, they get their stuff out of the house on time, no problem. Brianna still had some stuff in there. So you learn that Brianna then reaches out to the landlord asking for some more time to get her stuff out of the house. So she reaches out to the landlord, who is the defendant's mom. And mom agrees for that extension for Brianna to get her stuff out. A day before that extension is supposed to end, the extension is until June 3rd of 2024, but on June 2nd, Brianna gets notice saying, hey, we're putting your stuff out on the street. If you want it, come and get it. Brianna goes there to get some of her things. She calls her mom, Miss Valerie, because she doesn't have room to hold everything. And Miss Valerie comes over. You'll learn that Miss Valerie gets into an argument, a verbal confrontation with one of the females that we don't even know who she is. It's not the defendant's mom, the landlord, it's somebody else. And they get into this verbal confrontation and they're going back and forth. At some point it gets heated, so Miss Valerie calls up her daughter Christian. We'll also hit from Christian. That Christian comes over, and before Christian even stops, she makes a block around the house to see what's going on and kind of scope out the scene. And then she ends up stopping at the house and she goes to the landlord. Like, hey, what is going on? Like, somebody's cursing out my mama, threatening my mama. Y'all put my sister's stuff out on the street. What is going on? Things continue to snowball from there. This unknown female starts yapping to Christian and cursing her. And then their verbal confrontation escalates to a physical confrontation. As the 2 of them, I'm gonna call it fighting. I don't even know if punches were really thrown or was it just a girl fight tussle. But as the 2 of them were tussling or fighting, Christian falls into a ditch. And when she falls into that ditch, she realizes, ouch, my shoulder. So somebody breaks up the fight, and then Christian is like, I need to get to the hospital. So Christian gets her girlfriend Dion, and they jump back in the car because they're gonna leave there and go to the hospital. And that's when Deontay decides to insert himself into the girl fight. You'll hear from multiple witnesses that they see a guy in a red hoodie get out of a car, stand there and aim and start firing at the car that Christian and Dion were driving away in. You'll hear from Brianna and their mom, Miss Valerie, that they start following the car. They call 911, they're giving descriptions, they're updating them. Somebody tells Miss Valerie to back off, so Miss Valerie ends up turning off and backing off, but Brianna continues to follow the car. She's following the car that she just saw the guy with the red hoodie get out of and point a gun and fire multiple shots at her sister's car. She's updating 911, she follows that car until they back into a driveway. Brianna stays there until police arrive. The same exact person that Brianna just described to 911 gets out of that car wearing the same red hoodie. And you'll learn that that person was identified as the defendant we have here today. You'll also learn that there's an officer who is walking around the car and he's just looking through the window as he's walking around. And when he looks in one of the windows, the front passenger seat, which is the front passenger seat that Deontay Sostan just got out of, there are 2 guns sitting right there in plain view on the seat. Then when there's a look around the vehicle, you'll learn that there was another gun in the driver's side, next to the driver's side in the console. You'll learn that Deontay was taken in for an interview. He doesn't say much. After a few minutes, he refuses to talk. You'll learn that he was very playful, unserious. This was a joke to him throughout all this. At the end of this, I'll come back. Once you hear all of the evidence, if they have any evidence to present to you. They have the same subpoena powers I do. The people I subpoena here, they can subpoena people too. They get to question the witnesses that I call up there. Then once I come back and you heard from all of the witnesses, I'll come back. And I'll remind you that you can't bring a gun to a girl fight. Especially when you're not involved. Especially when nobody's being unfairly hurt. And especially when the people you shoot at are driving away.
Mr. West, do you want to make an opening statement now?
We'll reserve, Your Honor.
You can call your first witness, Steve.
The state calls Brianna Lee.
According to the indictment, Sustan is accused of knowingly discharging a firearm at an occupied vehicle, a serious felony under Texas law. Prosecutors claim witnesses saw a man in a red hoodie step out, aim, and fire multiple shots at a car driving away from the scene. If true, the law treats this as extremely dangerous because even one shot at a moving vehicle could easily turn deadly.
Just for these presentations are on YouTube, but jury is never shown. I just want you to know the jury is never shown. We got a camera on the witness chair, the camera on where the lectern is and the parties are seated, and on me. But you are never shown. We're very sensitive about that, ladies and gentlemen. There's 3 cameras and y'all are out of any of the site. Okay, go ahead.
Good morning. Will you please state your name and spell it for our court reporter?
Good morning. My name is Brianna Lee, Breanna, last name Lee, Lee.
Please pull the microphone up for your voice. It's what we call a directional mic where you have to really speak straight into it. Thank you, ma'am. We don't want you to be uncomfortable if you need to move the chair. Thank you. Go ahead.
Are you nervous about being here today?
Yes,
Where are you from, Brianna?
I'm from Beaumont.
Lived in Beaumont all your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember living over at 3460 Westmoreland?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you find out about that place?
My child's father,
Okay. And who is your child's father?
Jordan Spradlin.
Y'all just have one child together?
Yes,
Westmoreland, is that in Jefferson County, Texas?
yes.
About when did you move into that house on Westmoreland?
2023 of August.
Who else lived at that address with you? What's your mom's name?
Valerie,
Is that Valerie Rawls? And what's your sister's name?
Christian,
Who was the landlord that you were renting from?
Elizabeth,
You know Elizabeth's last name?
Arsenal.
At some point, did you get a notice that Elizabeth wanted you all to move out of that house?
Yes.
About when was it that you received the notice? So the events that we're talking about, if that was in June of 2024, is it safe to say that that would have been around March of 2024? Okay. Did you get a notice that you needed to move out?
Yes.
Do you know why Liz wanted you to move out?
She said she was wanting to do some things around the house, like fix it up, do a little bit more fixing on it.
Was it your understanding that you were going to be allowed to move back in once that was done?
She did say that possibly in about 6 months that she would consider letting us come back.
Was it you that was communicating with Elizabeth, or was it your mom or your sister?
Me, my mom, and my child's father.
Okay. So would most of your communications go through your child's father and then to Liz, or did you communicate with Elizabeth directly?
It was a little bit of both.
Okay. When you got the notice that Elizabeth wanted you out of the house, did you get your things out of there on time?
No.
What happened?
I did move my personal items, but I left behind my child's stuff.
What did you do when you knew that you were gonna have to leave behind some of your child's things?
And I communicated with her and told Liz that, hey, I'm trying to get it out. Can you give me a couple more days? It was raining every time I got ready to go over there.
And did Elizabeth agree to give you until June 3rd of 2024 to get your
Yes.
things out? I didn't hear you.
Yes,
Did your things make it in there until June 3rd of 2024?
I don't remember. I just know that I got the phone call that she was putting the stuff out to the street and to come get it if I want.
Okay, so you got a phone call. Who did you get the phone call from?
Elizabeth,
And Elizabeth tells you that she's putting your stuff out on the street
correct.
and to come get come get your things if you wanted them.
Yes,
So what did you do?
I automatically hung up the phone and I went to the house to start grabbing my stuff, well, my child's stuff.
When you say you hung up the phone, could it be taken from Elizabeth that you hung up in her face?
Yes,
How did that make you feel when she called you and told you that they were putting your things out on the street?
it made me upset.
The day that she called you saying that they were putting your stuff out on the street, was that after the extension that she had given you, or was it before the extension?
That was after.
So did you not come and get your things out of the house by the day she told you to come get them out?
Correct.
And so when you went over there, did you go over to the house to get your stuff?
Yes,
What did you see when you got to the house?
all my child's stuff was sitting on the side of the road. Her glasses, her clothes.
Who was in the car with you when you went there?
My child and my niece.
Your child and your nieces? How old was your child at that time?
I think she was 1 yet.
And how old were your nieces?
My nieces were about 14 or 15 at the time.
May I approach the witness, Judge?
Yes.
I'm gonna show you what I marked as exhibit numbers 1, 2, and 3. Do you recognize the location in these photos?
Yes, sir.
Is the address at Westmoreland that you all were living at?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember if that pod box was there at the time you were living there, or if that came afterwards?
I don't remember.
Other than the pod boxes, do these photos fairly and accurately represent how the house looked?
Yes.
State offers exhibits 1, 2, and 3 tendering to defense counsel for review.
No objection, Your Honor.
Without objection, they are admitted.
Okay, so Brianna, just so I'm clear, Elizabeth gave you a date to have your stuff out. You reached out to her and she gave you an extension, is that right? Did you miss that extension and that's why she put your stuff out?
I don't remember.
Okay. He told us it was a simple push 1 or push 2 and that's not working, so I'm not sure.
It's a poor mechanic who blames her tools.
Okay, Miss Brianna, is this the house that y'all moved in? I'm showing sex exhibit number 1.
Yes,
And then it states exhibit number 2, just a different view of the same house.
yes,
And then it states exhibit 3, also the same house, just a different view.
yes.
So when you pull up at the house, where do you park your car?
I parked it on the. On the other side of the driveway.
Okay, so when we're talking about the other side of the driveway, do you park it right here?
No, ma'am, that's where my stuff was.
You park it over here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When you pull up, what do you see outside of the house?
All my child's stuff.
Okay, and where's your child's stuff at?
It was sitting on the corner.
And when you say on the corner, are we talking about like sex exhibit 3?
Yes,
And is it in the street or is it in the grass?
it's in the grass in the ditch.
Okay.
We're gonna dim the lights for a second.
Okay.
For the jury to see it better. Can you expand that a little bit more?
Yes.
Thank you.
We have to improvise with the lighting judge.
It's never happened before.
Sure. So where was your daughter's things at? In that area there? And then, and show the jury where you parked your car at.
In here to where I could just barely walk a little distance to put the stuff in the back of the truck.
Do you see people at the house when you get there?
Yes,
Who do you see when you get there?
it was Elizabeth, I want to say her youngest daughter and some gentleman that was with them.
When you say gentleman, are we talking about a kid or an adult?
It was an adult.
Okay. Had you ever seen that man before?
No,
And you can sit down for a few minutes. Did you have anything else inside the house or was everything just out there on the street?
so this stuff in there, but it was trash.
And you said in your car was your child that was under 1 and then your 2 nieces that were about 14 and 15?
Yes,
When you pulled up, what did you do?
I automatically start grabbing my stuff.
And what do you start doing with your stuff?
I start putting it in my trunk.
Did you have a conversation with anybody out there?
No, ma'am, not until Liz walked outside.
So Elizabeth walks outside, you say?
Yes, ma'am, she walked on the porch.
And then how do you and Elizabeth start engaging in conversation?
She basically asked me why did I hang up on her and just start calling me out of my name.
So did Elizabeth appear upset because you hung up the phone and we're talking about the earlier conversation when she told you that your stuff was out in the street?
There.
I'm sorry,
Yes, ma'am.
you said she sounded very upset?
Yes, ma'am.
So then what do you do when she comes to confront you about hanging up the phone?
I basically told her why I hung up. I didn't want to show my anger, my upset, my frustration, or my hurt.
As you're getting your things, you have this conversation with Elizabeth. Do you call your mom?
Yes,
Okay.
to have her come and assist me on grabbing my child's stuff.
And your mom is Miss Valerie, right?
Correct.
Does Miss Valerie make it out there to where you are?
Yes.
What happens when Miss Valerie gets there?
Her and my mom and Elizabeth started exchanging words.
Did it become physical or was it just verbal words?
It was verbal.
Does it
Can you turn
end?
the lights up now?
Yes, sir.
Is it- Okay, thank you.
We'll have to refer to it periodically, so. And you said it was just words between your mom and Elizabeth?
Yes.
Okay. And does it escalate from there?
Yes.
Okay, what do you remember happening next?
I remember her daughter pulling up,
Do you know her daughter's name?
Jazz,
And when we're talking about her daughter, who are we talking about?
Elizabeth's daughter.
So Elizabeth's daughter, Jazz, pulls up.
Correct.
And is Jazz a kid or is Jazz an adult?
She was an adult.
So what happens when Jazz pulls up?
Jazz pulls up and at that time, my sister is there. So my sister's trying to figure out what's going on, which is Christian is my sister. She's trying to figure out what's going on.
So Christian arrives. Did you call Christian or how did Christian, or do you know how Christian gets
I
there?
don't know.
Okay, you didn't call her though.
No.
So Christian arrives and then what do you see happen when Christian gets there?
Before that, a cousin of or a friend of theirs of Elizabeth's name pulled up.
Okay, so initially you say when you got there, it was Elizabeth, her younger daughter, and the gentleman.
Correct.
And now you're saying another female pulled
Yes,
up.
other people started pulling up.
Okay, and so what happens when that other female pulls up?
Once the other female pulls up, that's then when things escalated. Her and my sister started fighting.
Do you know who the other female was?
No,
Ever seen her in your life?
no, ma'am.
So are we talking about black female, white female, Hispanic?
Black female.
So that black female and Christian start fighting.
Correct.
Do they go straight? Does the fighting get physical?
Yes.
Does it go straight to physical fighting or does it start off from something else?
They were basically screaming and yelling at each other, and then it got physical.
Okay. When it gets physical, what do you see?
I see that both of them are striking each other.
Are they outside the house?
Yes, ma'am.
And about where are they when they're fighting? And you can use the pointer to point at the picture again. And are you talking about one that's further back that I showed you on my computer?
It shows it shows the ditch on the other side of this.
Okay,
trash.
that one was just on my computer. So we're talking about, you see that, do you see the car up here?
Yes,
Are they in the ditch that's over here?
yes,
Okay, so Christian and the unknown black female are fighting.
yes.
And does one end up in the ditch or both end up in the
They
ditch?
both fell in the ditch.
Okay,
With my sister being on the bottom.
so your sister was on the bottom?
Yes.
What happens when they're fighting and they fall in the ditch?
They fall in a ditch and I just see my sister hop up and get in her car.
Where was your sister's car at?
It was parked kind of like by the trash can, so they were pretty much fighting by my sister's car. Kind of like right here in this area.
Okay, so her car's parked, Christian's car is parked here, and is Christian's car facing this way? Or is it facing the opposite way?
It's facing this way.
So Christian's car is facing this way.
Yes,
Okay. So Christian gets up and goes to get in her car.
correct.
Did it look like Christian was hurt?
Yes,
And what part of her body did appear to be hurt?
her shoulder. They popped it out of place when they fell.
She popped it out of place.
Whenever they fell in the ditch.
So what happens when Christian gets in her car?
She gets in the car, she takes off, and I see.
Is Christian driving?
Yes, ma'am, she's
Okay.
the one driving.
Who's in the car with her?
Dion and Dominique.
Who is Dominique?
Dominique is my niece.
Okay. And you said they get in the car. What happens when she gets in the car?
Once they get in the car, that's when I see a gentleman hop out of the Buick and start firing shots.
Is the Buick moving or is the Buick parked?
It was parked.
Where did the Buick park?
The Buick was parked like right in here.
Okay. What color was the Buick?
It was a dark color Buick.
Okay. And when you say somebody got out of it, did one person get out or two people get out?
I only seen one get out.
And the one person that you saw get out, what do you remember about that person? What they were wearing, what they looked like?
They had on a red hoodie with white writing on it.
And so does that person, do you know if they got out from the driver's side or the passenger side?
I don't know.
And when that person got out, what did you see them doing?
They automatically just started firing shots. They put their hoodie on and start shooting.
So the Buick, which way was it facing? Was it facing this way?
No,
It was facing this way.
yes,
Okay. And so somebody gets out of the Buick. Where are they standing when they start firing these shots?
in front of the car.
Okay, so you said they put their hoodie on, standing in front of the car and start firing. Where were they firing at?
Directly at my sister's car.
How did that make you feel to see this person in this red hoodie firing at your sister's car? Were you scared?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you know if she was hurt or not from the shots?
No, I didn't.
The person in the red hoodie that you saw that night, do you see them in the courtroom today?
Yes,
Can you point to him and tell me something he's wearing?
he has on a tan color button down shirt.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that this witness has identified the defendant?
Yes, it will.
So you saw this defendant get out of that car wearing his red hoodie and he pointed that gun and fired at your sister's car.
Yes.
Do you remember how many shots he fired?
No, ma'am,
Was it one or would you say more than one?
it was more than one.
Okay. And let me go back a minute. When Christian and the unknown black female are they fighting one-on-one?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see either of them pull out any weapons?
No, ma'am.
Did anybody try to grab a board?
No, ma'am.
Either of them grab a knife, pull out a knife?
No, ma'am.
Either of them pull out a gun?
No.
So there were just two girls fighting.
Correct.
Did you see anyone else out there with a weapon besides this defendant?
Yes.
Who else had a weapon?
Jazz.
And who was Jazz?
Elizabeth's daughter.
Do you know if he's related to Jazz?
No.
What do you do after you hear those shots, what do you do?
I got on the phone with 911.
Okay, does that, after the defendant shoots, what does he do?
Him and another person gets in a car and take off.
Okay, and you say you call 911.
Yes.
And what do you do when you call 911?
After I call 911, I followed them from a distance.
Okay. While you're following them, are you staying on the phone with 911?
Yes.
And are you giving 911 up-to-date directions as to we're going here, we're turning here?
Yes.
Eventually, does the car stop?
Yes.
May I approach the witness, Judge?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as sex exhibit numbers 4, 5, and 6. Do you recognize the vehicle in those photos?
Yes.
What do you recognize that vehicle from?
The house and the missing part of the grill.
Is that the vehicle that the defendant was riding in?
Yes.
Do these photos accurately represent how that vehicle looked the night that you saw it?
Yes.
State officer sex exhibits 4, 5, and 6 tendered to defense counsel for review.
No objection, Your Honor.
They're admitted.
Permission to publish.
Go ahead.
On state's exhibit 4, you said you recognize that house. How do you recognize that house? And let me rephrase that. Did you follow the defendant to a location?
Yes.
Where did you follow them to?
I can't recall the street.
Does Euclid sound familiar?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you see when they get on Euclid? What do?
They backed into our house.
Okay. Does this look like the house that they backed into, the driveway? You said something about the car. What stood out about that car to you?
The grill of the car.
And why did that grill stand out?
That's the only way I could identify it. I couldn't get a license plate.
What about the grill was identifiable to you?
That it's missing, it's broken.
Okay. And this is sex exhibit 5. Is that just a different view of the same vehicle?
Yes.
And sex exhibit 6, is that just a different view of the same vehicle?
Correct.
Okay. So when you watch that vehicle pull into that driveway, are you still on the phone with 911?
Yes.
Do police end up arriving?
Yes.
Were you still there when police show up?
Yes.
Okay. And then where do you go from there?
I went to meet other police officers at Beaumont United High School.
When the defendant pulled out the gun, could you see what type of gun it was?
No.
Are you familiar with guns? Would you know if it was like and I'm not familiar with the correct terminology, so forgive me if I say wrong stuff also. But are you familiar with whether it was like a handgun or a shotgun or a short gun or a long gun?
It was a handgun.
It was a handgun, so a short gun?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember what color it was?
No.
And when the defendant gets out and starts shooting at your sister's car, is it daylight or is it dark time?
It's daylight.
When you go over to Beaumont United, you speak with officers there?
Yes.
Do you also go into the police department to speak with Detective Sarant for an interview?
Yes.
And do you talk to him about everything that happened?
Yes.
When you came and met with, you and I met earlier this morning, is that right?
Yes,
When you met with me, did you listen to the 911 calls?
yes,
And did you hear yourself on there talking with the 911 operator?
yes,
Did you also hear a call or a call or two from when your mom called 911?
yes.
After speaking with the detective, did you have any other involvement with this case after that?
No,
Pastor Lucas.
Miss Lee, did any of the shots hit your sister's car?
yes.
Okay, and where at did they hit her car?
It's the passenger rear
Okay, how many shots hit the car? Do you know?
one,
Okay, but you said it was more than one shot.
yes,
Okay. And the shooter, did you know this shooter?
no,
Okay, ever seen him before? Okay, know his name?
now I do, but
Okay.
before then.
Well, okay. And the shooter had on a hoodie, you said, correct?
Yes,
Okay, did you get a look at his face or just kind of just glance at him?
I glanced,
Okay, okay. And you were told that this is the shooter. Are you sure that this is the person? Do you know for sure?
yes,
Okay, but you said you didn't get a look at his face.
glanced at it,
Okay, enough to know that that's him from
yes.
way back then.
Yes.
Never seen him before.
No,
Have you seen him since then?
when they did my questioning at the police station.
Or they brought him in and said, this is the guy?
No, we were getting ready to go to the back. Someone came across the hall, I came out that door and he was standing up at the door.
That's what it is.
So, Ms. Brianna, when you saw what you were just talking about, when you saw the defendant at the police station, that's when you went for your interview with the detective?
Yes,
Did he still have on the same red hoodie?
yes,
At that time, did he still have the hoodie over his head or was the cap off?
I don't remember.
But the person who you saw shoot at your sister's car, the person that you saw at the police department when you went for your interview, and let me back up. When you went for your interview, was that the same day?
Yes,
Okay. So the person you saw shoot at your sister's car, the person you saw later that day at the police department, is that the same person who you see sitting here today?
yes.
No further question.
Anything else? Is this lady excused?
She's excused.
You are excused, ma'am. Thank you. Next, please.
The state calls Miss Valerie Rawls. Miss Rawls, will you please state your name and spell your name for our court reporter?
Valerie Rose, VALERIERAWLS.
And Miss Rawls, where are you from?
Originally from Woodville, Texas,
When did you move to Beaumont?
about 38 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm from Woodville.
Okay. Do you remember living over at the house at 3460 Westmoreland?
Yes,
Is that in Jefferson County, Texas?
yes, it is.
And I'm going to show you what's already been admitted as tax exhibits 1, 2, and 3. Do you recognize these as the photos of the house you were living in on Westmoreland?
Yes, ma'am.
Who did you move into that house with?
My daughter Brianna, my daughter Christian, my nephew Dylan, my great nephew Ethan, and that's it.
Do you remember about when y'all moved in there?
I'm guessing about 5 years ago.
Okay. And do you know who the landlord was when you lived there?
Yes, it was Liz.
Is that Elizabeth Arsenault?
Yes,
Around March of 2024, do you remember getting a notice that y'all needed to move out?
yes.
Do you know why Liz was asking y'all to move out?
She said that she was gonna do construction on the house.
Was it your understanding that y'all were gonna be allowed to move back in afterwards?
She did say that.
Did you decide to go back or did you just go find somewhere else to stay?
I found something.
When Liz asked you all to get out of the house, did she give you a deadline as to when to get your things out?
I can't remember.
Did you get your stuff out and move on?
Yes,
Okay. Let's talk about June 2nd of 2024. Brianna, is that your daughter?
yes,
Did you get a call from Brianna on June 2nd, 2024?
yes.
And was Brianna asking you to come over to the house on Westmoreland?
She was telling me that, the things had been put out, and if I wanted my chairs, I need to come and get them.
Okay, I'm showing sex exhibit 3. So Brianna told you that the things were putting out, so you left some chairs there.
Yeah,
Where did you leave the chairs at?
they were inside the house.
Okay, so you show up on Westmoreland?
Mhm.
When you show up, is it you in the car by yourself or is anybody in the car with you?
No, it's me, my nephew Dylan, my great nephew Ethan, and my grandson Dominic.
How old is Ethan at that time?
Maybe 2 or 3.
And how old is, what's the other one? You said Ethan and who else?
Dominic,
How old is Dominic?
he's probably maybe 13 or 14.
Okay, Ethan, Dominic, and what was the third one?
Dylan,
Dylan. How old is Dylan?
he's probably 22 or 23.
Okay, so one adult and then 2 other kids in the car. So when you arrive, where do you pull up at? And there's a pointer down there. If you could take that pointer and you can point to it on the picture behind you.
I pull up,
And you can stand up if you need to.
right here where all the stuff is out.
Okay, so and what kind of car are you in?
A Nissan Sentra.
Okay, and when you pull right here, which direction is your car facing?
This way. I'm going that way.
Okay, so your car is going that way.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay, you can have a seat. When you pull up, what do you see?
I see all the stuff on the side of the street. I see my daughter picking up some things.
And who do you see there?
Liz, her boyfriend, I should find in her daughter, the little daughter.
Did you know her boyfriend's name?
No, I thought.
So what do you do when you pull up?
So, because Brian's respectful, she's not gonna say anything out of the way for an adult. So when I got there, I called Liz all the names that she called my daughter.
So when Brianna called you, did Brianna tell you about some things Liz had said to her?
Yeah,
So when you get there, you confront Liz and you start calling Liz those names back.
yes.
Okay. And is it just a verbal confrontation between you and Liz, or does it escalate between you and Liz?
It's a verbal conversation, but there's arguing going on back and forth.
But just verbally?
Yes. just
Okay.
verbal.
What happens once you and Liz are done confronting each other?
Then her daughter tells me I slap old lady, her oldest daughter. I think
You know-
Jasmine,
Jasmine?
yeah, she tells me that.
Okay. Where are you at when Jasmine threatens to slap you?
I'm driving off, going the way that I was parked.
Okay.
That's the
So
truth.
by then you're back in your car?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jasmine threatens to slap you. Does somebody slap you while you're out there? Who slapped you?
Later on, this big girl came up and she started getting into the conversation. And as I had turned around and I was going back the other direction, she reached in the passenger side of my car and slapped me.
Okay, so let's back up and unpack that. So you have the confrontation with Liz, is that right? Jazz, Liz's daughter, threatens to slap you, is that right?
Right.
The person who does slap you, that's not Jazz.
No, it's not.
That's not Liz.
No,
When did this other person come into the picture?
I'm not sure, but it was after, we had already been arguing and everything. And she just showed up, coming on the same side of the street that I was on. That's where she came up.
So she wasn't there when you initially got there?
No.
Black female, white female, Hispanic.
Black female.
So black female comes and you said you had gotten back into your car.
Right.
Okay, so you're back into your car and you said she comes to your passenger side, is that right?
Yes.
Who is sitting in the passenger side of your car?
Dylan.
Dylan. So does she reach around Dylan? And does she actually make contact with your face?
Yes.
What do you do when she slaps you?
When she slapped me, I went to get my daughter. I called the cops. That's what I did. I called 911 to tell them that she had slapped me. and that they needed to get over there and arrest her.
Okay, so you make multiple calls to 911, is that right, that day? So the first call you make is because you're saying, hey, this lady slapped me and I need somebody here.
Right.
Do they get somebody there fast? No. So what did you do?
So I was getting ready to drive off. Liz comes and she pulls I had one of the chairs in the trunk was open, and she pulls the chair out of the trunk. I guess she was trying to destroy it. And then I had Dylan get out and put it back in my trunk, and we drove off. I went to my house. I told Christian what had happened, and she followed me.
Okay, so Liz pulls a chair, one of the chairs that you had just gotten from the house?
Yes,
You put it in the trunk and Liz pulls it back out of your trunk?
yes.
Okay, and then you said Dylan was the one who got out and put it back?
Yes.
Okay, and you go to the house. How far was your house from here?
I lived on Kenneth Avenue, so I'm not sure how the distance. Probably like maybe 4 or 5 miles.
Okay, so it takes you about 5 minutes to get to your house from there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to your house and you tell Christian what happened?
Mhm.
And then what does Christian do?
She says, nobody's gonna slap my mom, so she then gets in her car, after I unpack the 2 chairs, she gets in her car, I get in my car, and we drive back over.
Okay, what happens when you drive back over?
The girl is still there, and then Christian wants to know which one of y'all slapped my mom, and the girl jumps into the back seat of Christian's car and starts pulling her hair.
So when y'all make it back to the house, Christian confronts the girl who slapped you.
She didn't know who slapped me, but she was asking who had slapped me, and then the girl jumps into the back seat of her car and just pulling her hair back.
Okay, so when Christian gets there, does she go to anybody individually or is she talking to a group of people?
She's talking to everybody.
Okay, and so Christian asking who slapped her mom, at some point you're saying Christian goes back and gets in her car?
Right, she was back in her car, and then the girl pulled her hair, and then that's when Christian got out and they had
Where was the girl when she pulled Christian's hair?
in the back seat.
In the back seat of Christian's car?
Yes, she got into Christian's back seat and started pulling her hair.
And where was Christian at?
In the front seat.
In the driver's side?
Yes.
Okay. And you said once the girl gets in the back seat and starts pulling her hair, that's when they start fighting?
Well, after that, they get out because, I mean, I'm watching this girl pull my daughter's hair back. I'm like, what's going on? But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, then they did fight after that.
So when they get back out and start fighting, you can use the pointer again. Where are they at when they're fighting?
They were over here. They were near this ditch. Because this where Christian fell in, like right there in the.
That far?
Yeah,
Okay,
on this side of the car.
okay. And when we say fighting, how are they fighting? Are they throwing punches at each other?
Okay.
Did you see either of those 2 girls pull out a weapon?
No,
So it's just 2 girls fighting, throwing blows at each other or trying to throw blows at each other? Does something happen while the 2 of them are fighting?
just Christian hurts her shoulder.
How does she hurt her shoulder?
The girl pushes her into the ditch.
Okay, does Christian fall in that ditch?
Yes.
Okay, and then what happens when she falls in the ditch and hurts her shoulder?
The girl is on her, she's pulling Christian's hair, Christian is pulling her hair, so we make them lose their grip. Christian gets up, she gets in her automobile, and she attempts to go to St. to get some care.
Okay, so you said the girl is on Christian.
Yeah.
So that means Christian is on the bottom and the girl's on top of her? So you said y'all make them lose their grip. How do you do that?
Just pulling them apart, grabbing her hand, taking off Christian's hair, and
Okay.
grabbing Christian's hand and taking off her hair. They're like, you let me go, no, you let me go. But then we gotta separate.
So y'all made them separate, and then you said Christian went and got into her vehicle.
Yeah.
Where was Christian's vehicle parked?
It was parked right there.
Okay, and then what does Christian do once she gets in her vehicle?
She drives off. She drives off this one.
Okay, did something catch your attention once Christian drives off?
Yes, ma'am.
What caught your attention?
2 guys got out the vehicle, went to the back of their car and started shooting at my daughter. Spark.
What did you see about the 2 guys as far as what they had on, how they looked? What did you see about them?
One of them had on a red hoodie, and I think the other one had on a black hoodie.
What kind of car were they in?
I don't know the car, but I did follow them. I'm not sure what kind of car.
Did anything about the car stand out to you?
Yes,
What stood out about the
they
car?
had a missing front bumper.
Can you remember what color the car was?
No, ma'am, it was either dark blue or black.
I'm gonna show you what's been admitted as exhibits 4 and 5. Do you recognize the car in those pictures?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you recognize that car from?
The shooting, the guys who got in and drove off after trying to.
Did you get a look at either of the guys' faces?
No, ma'am, because I was actually behind them. So I pulled over into the neighbor's yard. And then I saw them pull up and I was in the neighbor's yard right here. Facing that way. I saw the car pull up behind a utility vehicle that was doing some work at a neighbor's house. And I saw the guys get out the car, they went to the back and they start firing. Both of them.
And which way was the car facing again?
Their car,
Yes.
that way.
Okay. And so they went to the back of the car and started firing the gun.
Yes,
Did you see one person fire or did you see both people
both
fire?
of them.
Okay. What direction did you see them firing in?
The direction where my daughter had just driven off in, towards 11th Street.
And so that's towards that way.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm horrible with directions. So, gotcha. Do you know where Christian was going when she left there?
She was actually going to St. E because she had she was hurt. Her shoulder was hurt, so that's where she was driving to.
So Christian's headed towards St. E. You see the two guys shooting at her car. What did you do after that?
After that, when Christian pulled on to 11th Street, they got back in their vehicle and they attempted to leave. I was, of course, in the driveway next door. I pulled out to try to stop them, waiting for the cops to get there and arrest them. But somebody yelled at me, move out the way, move out the way. So I finally moved out and they just sped past me. And after that, I was in pursuit of them.
Did you make another call to 911 after the shots?
Yes.
Okay. And I let you listen to that upstairs, right?
Yes.
Were you saying some things that kind of made you laugh upstairs as you were listening to that?
Yes.
Okay. So you said you tried to block them in and then
Right.
somebody told you to move
Right.
and they took off. So you started following them. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
But before that, I was facing the other way, and the guy that was with Liz kept telling me, "You need to leave. You need to leave. You need to leave," as if he knew that they were coming. So he tried to get me to go before they got there.
Okay. So the guy was telling you to go before the defendant showed up.
Mm.
Okay. You didn't listen.
No, I didn't.
Okay. So when because why?
My daughter was still there.
And you were not going to leave her there?
Mhm.
Okay. So when the guys in the car pull off, you go behind them. Are you on the phone with 911 as you're following them?
Yes.
At some point, does someone tell you to pull off from following them?
Yes, my daughter.
Your daughter did. Okay. So where did you go from there?
I went to St. E to check on my daughter.
Okay. You go to St. Elizabeth to check on Christian. Do you end up going to meet with police?
Yeah.
When was that?
Later on in the evening.
And was that at the police station?
No, ma'am. I initially met with them at BU.
So you go to the parking lot of Beaumont United?
Yes.
And an officer comes out and speaks with you there?
Yes,
Do you also go to the police department for an interview with the detective?
definitely.
When you were there to interview with the detective, did you see one of the guys or both of the guys that pulled up on Westmoreland?
I saw him, but I didn't know that was him. And Brenda said, "Mama, that's one of the guys right there." I was like,
Objection, hearsay.
Suspend.
So when you saw the guys at the police department, you yourself didn't recognize who it was?
"No,
Okay. So if you saw the guys, either of the guys who were shooting today, would you be able to identify them by their face?
no,
And you said one was wearing a red hoodie? Okay, and what color did you say the other one was wearing?
black."
Okay. Did you have any other involvement in this case after you gave your statement to that detective?
No,
You had already moved out the house and you were done with the house there?
right.
Pass the witness.
Miss Rawls, when Christian was driving away, you might have to use the pointer, or she was driving in that picture up. The picture back behind you.
Christian's car was facing this way, so when she left this way.
Oh, she was driving down.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, and this kind of reiterates what Miss Moore just said, but you can't say that my client here was the shooter, can you?
No,
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Please have a seat right here. Thank you. Great.
Still morning. Good morning, Christian. Will you please state your first and last name and spell it so we make sure our court reporter has it spelled correctly?
Christian Ross, CHRISTIAN,
And Christian, where are you from?
Beaumont, Texas.
You remember living over at 3460 Westmoreland?
Yes, ma'am.
Who did you live there with?
My mom, my sister, and my 2 cousins.
And your 2 cousins? Is that in Jefferson County, Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
About when was it that you moved there?
2023.
You remember what the landlord's name was?
I just know about this.
Around March of 2024, do you remember getting a notice to move out?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you get your things and did you leave?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you end up moving to?
The South Park.
Did you move with your mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your mom Miss Valerie who just left out?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know why Liz was wanting you all to move out?
I'm not sure.
You got all of your stuff out and you left out. You didn't leave anything else at that house. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's been admitted as text exhibits 1, 2, and 3. Do you recognize the house in these photos?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that the house that you were living in on Westmoreland?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to publish text exhibit 3. I want to move forward to June 2nd of 2024. Did Miss Valerie contact you about something that was going on at the house on Westmoreland?
Yes, ma'am.
And you and I met this morning, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And remember, I told you can't repeat what other people said, but when Miss Valerie reached out to you, what did you do?
I went to the house.
Okay,
Well, I passed by the house.
okay. And when you say the house, we're talking about this house.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when you say pass by, explain to the jury what you mean by that.
I drove past the house and I drove past, they were all standing on the street like they were waiting on something. I drove past, I didn't stop, didn't say anything. I drove past and I went around. I have a muffler, so I guess they heard me. They saw me at the stop sign down the street. They saw me, they told me, come over, come over. So I went over and that was that.
So when you passed by, what did you see when you just passed by?
They was all standing outside.
And when you say all, who was outside?
Liz, one of the girls that slapped my mom, another girl, Jazz, I guess her girlfriend, and another little girl, and also an older man.
Okay, so you say you pass by, you don't stop at first, and then when you're at did you say the stop sign, that's when somebody tells you to come over?
Yeah, they all saw my car, saw that, like I said, I guess they heard my muffler, and they all told me, come on, come on.
The people that are telling you to come on, is that your family or is that somebody from Liz and her family?
That's all them. By the time I got there, my family was already gone.
Okay, and you say that's all them, so we're talking about Liz's family?
Yes,
Do you end up going over to the house?
yes, ma'am.
What, when you get there, do you get out of your car?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There's a pointer down there. Where did you park your car at when you got there? And you can stand up if you need to.
I parked on the far end on this side.
Okay, and which way is your car facing?
It was facing towards 11th Street.
And is that way?
This way. Right, the way towards me.
Okay, so down towards you.
Yes.
And when you park your car, who's in the car with you?
My girlfriend, Dion,
Okay, so you and Dion are in the car. Who's driving?
me,
And so the car's facing this way. You get out the car.
yes, ma'am.
What do you do when you get out the car?
I get out the car and I'm just trying to see what's going on. I get out, I'm honestly just trying to talk to Liz, but it's just one loudmouth, the aggressor, I'm just asking like, what's going on? She just, what you wanna do? What you trying to do? Like, just trying to check me.
So when you get out the car and you said you're trying to talk to Liz, is it in a place where you can talk to Liz by herself, or is everybody just like right there?
Everybody's around.
Okay, and so you said another female came up to you saying some things.
Yeah,
Had you ever seen that female before?
no.
Are we talking, and I'm sorry, how old are you?
At the time I was 18,
18. Are we talking about a female that's your age, or does it appear that she's older than you?
way older than me.
Okay, and when you say way older than you, about what does that mean?
Late 30s in my opinion.
Okay, so she appears to be several years older than you.
Yeah.
And when you say she's being loud, is she cursing?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
She was just loud and saying things?
Yeah, she was like, honestly, I think she was cussing. She was like, what the F you trying to do about it? Like, I was just asking what happened with my mom.
Okay, and then do you and her get into a verbal altercation?
Honestly, I was ignoring her. Like I said, I went there to talk to Liz because she seemed like the calmer one. In my opinion, I was just trying to talk to her.
Okay, and did that work with talking to Liz and trying to stay calm?
No.
Okay, what do you remember happened next?
My mom came, like I said, the loudmouth girl, she just kept popping it. At some point, she reached in my mom's car, slapped her. At some point,
Okay, so hold on. So your mom was sitting in her car,
yes, ma'am.
and which seat is your mom sitting in her
The
car?
driver's-
The driver's seat. And when you say reached into her car and slapped her, did you see that, or did you?
I saw it.
Okay, what did you see?
She reached them through the passenger seat, reached over my cousin and like smacked my mom a little bit.
Okay, and how did that make you feel when you saw her slap your mom?
Really annoyed because I mean my mom's older. She can't really do nothing for herself. And she's in the car, so she's not a threat to you. So it wasn't me. It was no means to it.
Okay, so then what happens after the girl slaps your mom?
Really just like going back and forth. There really wasn't nothing to be said. I mean, I got in my car, but when I first got in my car, my mom came. I gave her my keys to my car, so I didn't want to drop them anywhere. I didn't want nobody to take my things. So I got back in my car after a while because it was a lot of talking and
Going really fast.
I'm sorry.
Slow down.
You said you got back in your car after a while
Yes.
because it was a lot of talking?
Yeah, just it wasn't coming down. So I got in my car. I was gonna try to leave, but my mom was in the way. And then by the time I knew it, the aggressor, the girl that stopped my mom, she got in my back seat, pulled my hair through my back seat,
What kind of car were you driving?
a Dodge Charger.
Okay, so you said you got back into your car. The female gets in the back seat of your car.
Yes,
Is she behind you or behind the passenger?
behind me.
She gets behind you and you said she starts pulling your hair.
She pulls my hair. She starts like messing up my cover, like pulling my AC things. She's trying to mess up things in my car.
Okay, and then what happens once she's back there and messing up things and pulling your hair?
I mean, I got out the car. That was pretty much it. After a while, I guess she wanted to fight, so I said, "Come on, like let's fight." I guess
Okay.
on an agreement type of thing.
So when you get out the car, y'all start fighting.
After a while, yeah, I said, "Come on, you want to fight?" Like we started squaring up.
Where were you when y'all started fighting?
I was on the back end of my car.
Okay, and use your pointer and show us to where we're talking about.
It was out here.
Okay, so when we say fighting, what kind of fighting are we talking about?
Just fist fight.
Okay, so is it one-on-one, just you and her?
Good.
And y'all are throwing punches at each other?
Honestly, not really. She rushed me. I fell in the ditch. When I fell in the ditch, my arm popped out of place. So it really wasn't much I could do. I was just holding her. She was just basically just sitting on me. It wasn't too much of a fight. By the time I got up, I realized something was wrong with my arm. So I got in my car and I just rushed and left.
Okay, so hold on. So you said you fell in the ditch.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and when you fell in the ditch, the other girl was on top of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then you said at that point you heard your shoulder pop out of place?
Yes.
And you said it wasn't much that you could do then?
Yes.
Okay, so was it impossible for you to like try to swing and things?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Do people have to come and break y'all apart after that at some point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when they break y'all apart, what do you do?
I just tell my people, I said, come on, I got in my car.
Who gets in your car with you?
Deanna got in my car and my niece Dominique, she got in my backseat passenger seat. And by the time I'm driving, it's just two boys just popping their guns at us as we're driving away.
So when y'all leave from the fight, who's driving your car?
Me,
And where's Dion sitting?
passengers,
And where's Dominique sitting?
backseat of passengers,
So backseat of the passenger. And which way do you head?
11th Street.
Okay, so coming down this way still.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're headed towards 11th Street. And what did you say you see or heard?
Two boys in the middle of the street just shooting their guns at us.
What could you see about the two guys that were in the street?
All I saw was a red hoodie and a black hoodie just aiming.
A red hoodie and a black hoodie? And when you say aiming, what do you mean?
Just aiming shoot.
Okay. Could you hear gunshots?
I don't really recall, but I'm pretty sure I did. I was really just in a rush. I was screaming myself because, like I said, my home's out of place.
Did you and Dion end up having to stop and switch spots because you couldn't drive anymore?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you said you don't remember if you specifically heard the shots, but you see the guys out with guns pointed.
Yes.
Could you tell what kind of guns they had?
No, I just know they were handguns, pistols.
Pistols? Okay. When you and the girl were fighting, did either of you two pull out weapons?
No, ma'am, I didn't have a weapon.
Do you know if she had a weapon? Did you see her have one?
I didn't see her personally have one.
Did you see anybody else out there with weapons before the two guys got out shooting?
Yes, ma'am.
Who else did you see with a weapon?
Jasmine.
And what's Jasmine's relationship to your landlord, Liz?
It's her daughter.
Okay. And how do you know Jasmine had a weapon?
I seen that she was clutching it and she hit my window with it.
Okay, when you say she was clutching it, what does that mean?
Like she had it out, like holding it like she was gonna use it, like visible.
Was it like holstered on her clothes, or when you say out, is it like out in her hands?
I don't really recall. I think it was out in her hand though.
But you could see it.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said she hit your window with it?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about when that was.
That was when I was in the car.
When you were in the car?
Initially trying to leave.
And which window does she hit with the gun?
I think it was Dean's window, the
Okay.
passenger seat.
Okay. So you say you drive off, you're driving, Dion's in the passenger seat, Dominique's in the back seat, right?
Yeah.
Back passenger seat. You see the two guys and you said a red hoodie and what's the other color?
A black hoodie.
Did you get a look at either of those guys' faces?
No.
When you leave there, where do you end up at?
I think St. E.
But you went to the hospital.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember police coming to the hospital and speaking with you?
Yes.
At that time, that same day when the police come to speak to you, did you know if you had any damage to your vehicle?
At that point, no. I mean, I rushed out of my car and just went straight to the ER.
At some point, did you go back and look at your car?
Yes, ma'am. When I got out of the ER at like about 5 a.m.
Did you see some damage?
Yes.
May I approach the witness, Judge?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you what I've marked as State's Exhibit 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And you can look through those and tell me if you recognize that vehicle.
I was the jury on this. Y'all ready to, I'm thinking about a couple minutes and then breaking for lunch. Is that good for everybody? Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you recognize this vehicle to be?
My car.
Okay. Is this accurate depictions of it, how it looks after the shots were fired?
Yes, ma'am.
State Office Exhibit 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, tendering to defense counsel for review.
Police later stopped a car matching the description from the 911 calls, and officers reportedly found multiple firearms inside the vehicle. Now the jury must weigh the testimony, the evidence, and the credibility of every witness. If they believe the prosecution's story, Sustan could face serious prison time. But if there's doubt about what really happened that night, the verdict could change everything. So what do you think? Does the evidence prove reckless gunfire beyond a reasonable doubt?
Objection, Your Honor.
They're admitted.
Christian, could you tell, or can you remember if it was one shot or multiple shots that were fired at your vehicle?
It was definitely was,
You said definitely multiple?
yes.
How did that make you feel when you're driving away and you see somebody with a gun pointed shooting?
I mean, pretty scared, not just for me, but for the people that were in my car with me.
Could you tell which direction the guns were pointed at?
I'm not sure. They pointed at the car in general.
At your car?
Yes,
And did you see both guys with the gun or just one?
oh,
Okay. And both guns are pointed at your car?
yes,
State's Exhibit 7, is that the back of your car?
yes, ma'am.
So it's a Dodge Charger?
Yes, ma'am.
State's Exhibit 8, is that a side view of your car?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this the bullet hole you found?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was sitting right there?
My niece Dominique.
Was she hurt?
No, ma'am.
State's Exhibit 9, is that a closer look?
Yes, ma'am.
And then State's Exhibit 10, is that the inside of that door panel?
Yes, ma'am.
And then State's Exhibit 11 is a closer look at the inside of that door panel?
Yes.
When you go to the hospital, what did they do?
They did X-rays, they gave me fentanyl, and after a while, they popped this.
Is your shoulder all better now?
Yes.
Besides being shooken up, was anybody hurt from the guy shooting at your car?
No.
Around June 4th of 2024, did Detective Sarant come over to your house?
Yes.
Is that when you showed him the damage to your car?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you also provide him with a verbal statement of what you remembered from that day?
Yes, ma'am.
After that, any other involvement with this case?
No.
Pass the witness.
We're gonna take a break.
Yes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can all of you return back at 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock gives you a little over an hour for lunch. Thank you. Please be mindful of the instructions the court has given to you. You go to eat with somebody, talk about everything, but not this case. So, thank you. Everyone else remains seated while the jury exits first.